added eye test to the call. Eye test. Would you sack Ole now? Would you give him 5 more games? Would Poch be your guy? What's your opinion, mate?
What I wanted to say is, I don't believe you need. I believe if you're a great manager, you don't need these superstar signings like Jadon Sancho's, like Neymar's, like I don't know, Paul Pogba's. You don't need that. I believe we can. It is possible for us to achieve big things, Champions League, Premier Leagues with the Glazers, if we have a proper manager with a proper system where we don't need to fight. 2 seconds, please. Well, 2 seconds, man. Where you don't need to buy superstars like Neymar, Sancho's, or whatever. Buy the right players to suit the system. Yeah. For example, Klopp. Other than Van Dijk and Alisson, look who he's got. Salah. He wasn't a big name. Mane wasn't a big name. Wijnaldum wasn't a big name. Look how he's transformed Henderson. Look how he's transformed Robertson. He just put players into the system that suits the system. And now look what he's winning. Yeah, I believe if we get the right manager with a proper system.
Sorry, I had a big spider on my leg, bro. I had a big spider climbing up my leg. What's that about? That thing is huge. That's the biggest spider I've ever seen in my life. And it was climbing up my leg, bro. Oh my God. Sorry, I changed. Sorry. It's about that big, bro. It's huge. Do you think, eye test, Man United already have those players and Potts can harness them and make us title contenders and Champions League winners again? Or do you think a big overhaul in players is needed as well?
I think we already have some amazing players. I believe, like, if we have a proper manager with a proper system, like, I don't rate Rashford as highly as most people, but I believe if we get the right manager with the right system and Rashford's put in the right conditions, he will look like a monster. He would look like a monster. I think if Klopp had someone like a Rashford, he would make him look like a monster. So
what's your response? So on that, guys, we'll let him have that opinion. On that, why is there such a focus? So the same Ole Out brigade that attack Ole, why are they so against the Rashfords, the Maguires, the even to an extent Bruno in recent times? You know, these people are all against. You know, AWB is no good. Why, if it's Ole, is there such a focus on how bad some of these players are? This is where I get confused, because if so many of our first team are bad, then it can't all be on Ole. But then when we talk about a new manager coming in, it's Ole. This manager will make these players really, really good. So that's fine. If your opinion is Ole is damaging these players, I can respect that. But you can't have it both ways. That Ole damages the players and the system's bad, plus the players are bad. Because that doesn't compute. No one with a brain thinks that makes sense.
Yeah, but how many of the first team players has Ole actually brought in? That's another thing you got to look at. People have been saying it for ages, is that the current squad is an accumulation of 3 to 4 managers of poor tactics, poor signings, and Ole's only brought in, I think, 5 first team players or 4 or something like that in the windows up till now.
Yeah, no, I hear that. We've got I test and Man Like Mo. Stay on the line for us. We've got Indiana on as well. Indiana, I want to ask you directly, not so much about what I test has said, but in terms of Poch in, Ole out, where's your head at with this? Is it something you would support as a move or not? Give me your opinions.
As a coach, there is no argument that Poch is a better coach than Ole. Nobody would argue that. What I would say is right now, it feels like a diversion tactic. It's the wrong time to do it. If you're going to get a new manager in before you go into the window. Let him get his players. But Itest was talking about Klopp. 3 years took Klopp. 3 years. Ole's been in the job for 18, 19 months, something like that. He's starting to bring players in, and the type of players we haven't seen since Fergie days for me, in terms of the players he was managing to get in the attraction there. The attraction was there with Sancho. Sancho wanted the move. It wasn't Ole who didn't get him in. It's the board. The players respect Ole.
Well, this is also the question as well, and this is where there needs to be a big debate on this, and maybe there isn't for us today. Is you've got this sort of situation that I look at where I think Yes, over the last 2 days, I've seen United fans angry, and rightfully so, that Woodward is buying players again and not listening to Ole, not buying the right players, doing it wrong. That's where my issue is. Forget Ole for a minute. Everyone knows my views on Ole. Love and respect the guy. I'm never going to disrespect the legend of this football club. It isn't going to happen. You're not going to get me to do that again. If he stays, fine. If he goes to an extent, fine. Because I don't think either thing is now going to fix the club, because we've got a bigger problem. And it will be, I think it could be even more painful, Poch coming in, than under Ole. If Poch comes in and after 18 months, we are looking banging. We are looking on point. Now, I'm going to address eye test with this one. Let's say in 18 months' time, it's like, wow, look at the football. Second in the league. We look amazing. What's your reaction going to be when the Glazers do to Poch what they've done to Jose, what they've done to Ole, what they've done to LVG, and don't allow him to buy, or they don't allow him to sell who he wants, or they do some other kind of madness, and I don't know, they sign a player because of sponsorship deals rather than it fit in his system. What would your reaction be if they undid his work? I want to ask that question of you.
Okay. First of all, for Poch isn't really my first choice, but let's go with Poch anyway for the sake of this.
Yeah.
Poch, yeah. If you looked at him at Tottenham, most transfer windows, he made a profit. He made a profit in most transfer windows. So I don't believe it will. And he still got to a Champions League final, and he still was in top 4 most seasons, and he was still able to build this squad that he had at Tottenham. So I don't believe.
So you don't think that they will hinder him? That you think that he is the kind of manager that, because of the quality he possesses, he will get the best out of what he's got. He'll utilize the money that he gets well and build us a team that can. Do you think he can win us trophies?
Well, I don't believe that the Glazers are as bad as the Tottenham owners. So I believe, yes, he can. Yes, because he made profit in most transfer windows. He sold so many players and bought so little, and he was able to build
that wasn't Poch, yeah? You realise that was Daniel Levy, yeah?
That's the owners, by the way, that did that, not the manager.
Yeah, not the manager. You know, Klopp was Poch was actually in a press conference where he turned around and said, "I'm not the manager. I'm just a coach."
So the point. So what's interesting there, eye test, is that you just said that our owners are better than Tottenham's owners, but then you just praise what the Tottenham owners do is they do turn profits on their players. However, that's a little mythological in itself, because net spend doesn't exist. I think this is what will happen under Poch. He'll come in. We may win some of the small trophies. I think we'll improve as a team. I think we'll play better football. I think we'll get to that edge, the precipice, and we'll go, right, we're ready to challenge. We're ready to go for it now. And there'll be a situation. Pogba might want to leave, and we sanction it.
Let him leave, man.
That's cool, but I'm not about. Don't forget who the player is a minute. A big player like Pogba might want to leave. The Glazers will let him go, and then Poch will be like, right, who's the replacement? Can I get Verratti? Can I get Ndidi? Can I get whoever it may be? And then what will happen? It'll be like, nah, we'll go and sign. It'll be a Cavani type signing. It'll be a Matic type signing, and it'll be things will deflate. That's what I see happening, and that will be even more painful. But
Terry,
listen, everyone's entitled to an opinion. You may just think and this is how I'm thinking right now, though. My expectations as a club have now gone. We are no longer a big club, so I'm not going to have the expectations of us to do things that big clubs do. I'm at a point where I'm just thinking, I might just fancy some entertaining football. At least it gets me through my weekends. That's literally the only thing I'm thinking now. Indiana, go for it, bro.
Yeah. So when you really think about it, right? Poch had a few years at Spurs, and he gets in the top 4, and he gets to the final of a European Cup. Ole has like 18 months, gets in the top 4, third, gets to the final of a European Cup. Even though he's clearing out players, he's not built his squad yet. I don't understand. I don't understand how Poch will do a better job than Ole. Bear in mind, Daniel Levy did not back Poch in the window, but now he is backing Jose Mourinho.
Okay, let me respond to that.
So I don't understand how there'll be any difference there. How will there be a difference bringing Poch in? I don't understand. I think Ole's done a lot more at the club.
No, I agree. I test you were going to respond.
Yeah, I was gonna respond. So he speaks about earlier on. He also spoke about how it took Klopp 3 years and Ollie's only 18 months into the job. And so my response to that is, in 18 months, with Klopp, in 18 months, we already, even though he wasn't winning Champions Leagues, he wasn't winning Premier Leagues, I still saw a proper pressing system. When I used to watch Liverpool play in the early days of Klopp, I used to be like, wow, the way he coached them to press is unbelievable. The way they play quick football is unbelievable. Yeah. The defense was a problem though. And then he fixed that later. But with Ole, in 18 months, in 1.5 seasons into the job, yeah, we still don't pass from the back very well. We're still not solid defensively. We still don't press very well. I'm not seeing what he's working on the training ground. I'm not seeing what he's trying to do on the training ground.
My question isn't about that. My question is, do we see it getting us back? And this is people got to answer yes or no. Are we going to get back to the promised land? Are we going to get back to being the best or one of the best teams in Europe with Poch in, with Woodward still as the main man, and with the Glazers here? If you think Poch or Nagelsmann or any other manager can do that and it's purely a managerial issue, fine. I just think it's amazing you've still got faith in Woodward and co to help architect that when they've now fouled 4 times on the bounce. And Neeks says it a lot. You know, Neeks has said it, and he's right. How are we even thinking or considering trusting this board to pick us another manager after they've now, according to you, eye test, and you have to agree with this, they've now got it wrong 4 times on the bounce, yes?
Yes.
So why do you trust them to pick the right guy again? Or actually, do you
I would trust
let me
them,
rephrase that. Do you trust them to pick the right person this time?
I don't know if I would trust them to pick the right person, but let me respond to what you said earlier, why I do still believe if they did pick the right person, we'd get back to the top. Because let me bring it back to the Klopp thing. I think if we got Klopp, we wouldn't have to get Jadon Sancho. Yeah, if Klopp was in Ole's situation, yeah, he could have easily, instead of waste a lot of time on Jadon Sancho, got Sarr, for example. He's nowhere near as good as Sancho, in my opinion. But Klopp would be able to get him in and fit him in his system.
Right, go back. So are you blaming Ole for that?
I'm blaming Ole for not having a proper system where because for me, Ole, he needs Sancho. He needs these big players to be able to get to the top. But I believe if you get a manager with a proper system, you don't need big players.
On that logic, let me ask you a question, just a genuine question. Then if that's the truth, then why did Klopp want Thiago Alcantara in his midfield and not Mark Noble?
No. I said it will be useful to get big players, but they don't. He doesn't need that.
Okay.
He doesn't need.
So, in your opinion, if you gave Klopp Mark Noble and not Thiago, he can still get that to really work for him and win and retain his title, because it isn't about the quality of the player; it's just about the system.
It would be difficult. It would be harder, obviously, but I wouldn't put it past Klopp because he's done it with Henderson. He's done it with all these other players in the team. So I wouldn't put it past him. But obviously, it would be harder. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, listen, fair play. I've got a few super chats to do here. This is from Who Me